When we think of the director position, speed of service and safety are probably the responsibilities that first come to mind. It's easy to forget that this is an important point of contact with the customer and a great place to make sure they leave feeling valued, appreciated, and wowed by their visit. As our unlimited population has grown, our directors are providing assistance to more customers than ever on a typical shift. If you're not careful, it's easy to lose track of the fact that you're helping a customer, not just directing another car. Not to mention, we've also removed the mirrors they were used to forever. They now have to rely solely on you and your directions to guide them safely onto the conveyor. Focusing on the customer and providing them with clear and easy to understand directions is more important than ever.
It all starts with being in the right position. If you're not already helping another customer, you should be waiting for the next customer towards the entrance of the conveyor. As soon as the customer makes the turn and heads towards you, you want to make eye contact and wave them forward. This is a crucial element of the process. They're going to now rely on you to guide them safely onto the conveyor using a series of arm gestures. The director's primary function is giving directions to guide the customer onto the conveyor. To be effective, your directions must be easily understood by the customer and efficient in getting the customer safely onto the conveyor in the shortest amount of time. A lot of research went into the development of our approach to guiding the customer. We follow a very specific technique that has proven most effective for the customer and the director. Now, let's learn how to provide each of these types of directions. Unless we're experiencing extremely high customer volume, your starting point will typically be at the entrance of the conveyor. This makes you and your directions much more visible. To guide the customer forward, use your whole arm bending at the elbow. Your palm should be facing you with your fingers together. As they pull forward, you'll walk backward as you guide them. Walking along with them sets a pace for how quickly you want them moving, puts the customer at ease, and helps you avoid looking like a robot that is planted in one spot. You should guide them forward with a steady pace. A fast or hurried pace may feel necessary, especially on busy days, but it can actually make the customer nervous and feel as if we're being impatient. To guide the customer to your left, point with your whole arm to the left using 2 fingers. We use 2 fingers instead of 1 because it's easier for the customer to understand and it looks friendlier than just 1 finger. 1 finger can look less patient and can come across as more demanding. To guide the customer to your right, bend at the elbow and point to your right. Here again, we use 2 fingers. When the customer does what you ask or their vehicle is tracking in the correct fashion, nodding as you guide them forward helps them understand that they are doing the right thing. It's a very positive way to reinforce the fact that they are following your directions and things are going well. When the customer is going off track or they're getting too close to the vehicle in front of them, you may need to get them to stop. We communicate this by holding our hands up, palm facing the customer. If they don't see you or don't react quickly enough, we may need to say stop in a loud yet friendly voice. If a customer fails to place their vehicle in neutral, they may collide with a vehicle in front of them or come out of the conveyor. To prevent this, we must tap on their window while shouting stop with a sense of urgency. Once a customer's rear tire passes a trap door on the conveyor, motion for the customer to place their vehicle in neutral. We do this by motioning with hand and arm gestures while saying, "In neutral, please." Now, let's put it all together. We start by guiding the customer forward, correcting their progress onto the conveyor with left and right instructions. As you're guiding them forward, you'll identify the wash number on their front windshield. This number is how our computer knows what wash and services the customer has purchased. You should have the wash number programmed into the KPT terminal before guiding them onto the conveyor. We also spray the front bumper and grille as they pull forward.
That was a nice review. Over the next couple of weeks, your managers will focus their weekly SOC on the director's area. In the weeks to come, we'll share more tips and techniques to help you polish your directing skills.
We have a very strong culture. In fact, it's truly the key to our success. It impacts what our customers experience on each visit, and it impacts what our team members experience. The foundation of this culture is our team values. Our values make it very clear how we treat each other and our customers. Safety. Use all of your senses and take action.
This means using your eyes, ears, and nose to detect potential hazards around the locations. When we see these hazards, we act on them to prevent accident or injury.
Integrity. Stay honest. Do what's right.
Integrity to me is always being counted on to do the right thing, no matter if I'm being watched or not. Most of the time we know what the right thing to do is. Sometimes it just takes the courage and the commitment to go through with it. I think this also means not being tempted or having a lapse of judgment that goes against this value.
Fun. Connect, compete, and laugh.
The people here at Crew make it a fun place to work. When you're laughing or you make someone else laugh, you're connecting and you get to have fun. I also really like competing in all the contests that we have. It's always a friendly competition. It keeps work really interesting and challenging.
Teamwork. Help others before they ask.
We look for opportunities to help each other out. We don't wait to be asked. We have each other's back. It's one thing to help somebody who asks for help, but helping them before they ask shows them you really care.
Accountability. Own it. Do what you say you'll do.
By being reliable, we are able to obtain our team members' and customers' trust. Even when we make mistakes, we are able to own up to them and learn from them.
Do whatever it takes.
So what this means is we show extra effort with our customers and with each other. We treat each other like we would treat our customers. Exceed expectations. No excuses.
These are more than just catchy phrases that will go on a poster. Our team will hire to these values, fire to uphold these values, and we'll promote and reward those team members that display them most consistently. That's how important they are. They really do define our culture.
I think you'll agree our focus group nailed it. They really captured the best way to describe how we display each of these values. We all need to commit to these values, display them each day, and we will become the service industry leader.
One of the most traumatic experiences for our customers is when they are involved in a multi-vehicle incident or when their vehicle comes out of the conveyor. It doesn't happen often. In fact, only 0.1% of our customers is ever involved in these types of incidents. But even that's too often, especially when there are some simple steps we can take to help prevent them. The key for prevention is awareness on the part of the director. We all need to be on the lookout for at-risk customers. These are customers who display some behavior that should tip us off that they may have difficulty getting through the wash safely. The best known is the customer going through the wash on a front roller. But this is really only just one example. They might hop multiple rollers, have their hands on the steering wheel and not let go when asked, stare at you as if they are uncertain of what to do, roll their window down as they enter the wash, their rear tire might not roll properly, they might have trouble getting in neutral, there may be a language barrier where they don't speak English. They might appear visibly nervous, frightened, or confused. They may appear to be under the influence. Or you might see brake lights or reverse lights come on. So step one is to identify that a customer is at risk in one of these ways. The next step is to take action to help ensure a safe wash experience for them and our other customers. Start with verbal and visual instructions. If they don't immediately respond, the customer is at risk. First, we idle the conveyor. Have the customer lower their window. Ask them to make sure their vehicle is in neutral, their foot is off the brake, and not to touch their steering wheel until they pull out of the car wash. We all know that it's required that someone follow through any customer who is going through the wash on a front roller. While it may not be required in all of these other scenarios, if you question at all that a customer is at risk and may not make it through the car wash safely, it's your responsibility to make sure someone follows them through with a hand on an e-stop at all times. Following an at-risk customer through the wash takes much less time than dealing with the aftermath of a customer coming out of the conveyor or a multi-vehicle incident. It's also important to remember that everyone should be on the lookout for at-risk customers. If a passenger side prep associate is being used, they will often identify customers who need this special attention as well. If, as the service advisor, you sense someone is a new customer, nervous, or seems distracted, give the director a heads up. A vehicle coming out of the conveyor is a traumatic experience for the customers involved. Identifying those customers who need a little extra attention and following them through the wash when needed is the best way
for us to display our Crew value of ensuring the safety of our customers and their vehicles.